Alright, so we actually got an episode where we don't actually focus onto what's happening with Shredder or what Cry is up to.
I'm gonna kill you.
This time around, the Turtles, they're teaming up with the Mutanimals. They're fighting like a mafia gang lord, out of all people to fight against. So in Mutant Gangland, we actually open up, our teaser before the theme music is actually, we actually open up seeing the Mutanimals, and we see Mondo Gecko. The one character we actually don't see a part of the Mutanimals now is Pigeon Pete. And it's actually kind of funny because they actually ask about Pigeon Pete, and they just go and say, "Oh, we don't talk about him." It's almost like, so a few weeks ago was my Dragon Con panel, which you guys can totally watch most of the panel up on our channel. Yeah, shameless plug right there. That's right. And someone actually asked me which mutant I did not care for, and I actually brought up Pigeon Pete. So maybe it's not just me who just does not care about that character. So the main plot of this episode is that Raphael decides to quit the team.
I'm tired of training with kid gloves. No one's pulling punches out there. Why should we do it in here?
And the Turtles exclaim again, like, this story is nothing really new and that stuff, and whatever Raphael's doing, yeah. Okay, so as I was saying, the show does point out to us it's not a plot that's new to not only to the series but in just Ninja Turtles in general. But what is actually kind of new for the series is that we get a fight between Raphael and Leonardo in the beginning, and it gets down to a really low down, dirty fight. And it was actually kind of like, we've seen Raphael and Leonardo fought many times in these over 30 years that Ninja Turtles has been a part of, but like we never actually seen them like go to like full Nelson and other like wrestling moves over here. It's always been about just ninja stuff, and it was actually like, it was such a brotherly fight. For all you people who have brothers, trust me, I had a brother, and I know some of our fights actually go into that, go into that detail and everything. So we do get a lot of focus onto Raphael in this episode, while Donatello still proves to be this season's punching bag, as again we see Donatello go out to fight to help Raphael. And then, he gets kidnapped. Where we see Donatello get kidnapped, and he has more of a presence in this episode than he did with Broken Foot. But it's still it's almost like, oh, we get some Donatello time, only for them just to take that away. And something else actually I want to bring up, because I totally forgot to bring it up last time. When we see the party wagon and it shoots out the missiles, is actually really cool, because the missiles actually look exactly like the toy missile that from the original party wagon had, which is actually a really nice touch that the animators and the modelers added in there. So some other things in this episode, we've seen Mondo Gecko return before, but we actually see him more of a whatever Raphael's doing. But we see Mondo Gecko return more as a starring role.
Hey, look at me now!
Into this episode, again voiced by Robbie Rist, and we actually get to hear him say "Cowabunga" again, which is a nice treat there. And we actually get. So last time with Mondo Gecko, he spent a lot of time with Michelangelo, this time we actually see him spend some time with Donatello. Actually, a lot of time with Donatello. Okay. Oh, okay. But as I was saying, like, we actually see him spend a lot of time with Donatello, and in fact, at one point he actually gets captured with Donatello as well. So not only we have that, we actually have a new mafia godfather-like bad guy whose name is Don Vivioso. Because of this little villain, we actually don't get any information or anything from Karai or Shredder, as I mentioned before, and it's probably for the better, because not only we have Mutanimals, we also have this guy that we're being introduced to, and not only the villains get cut out, also we don't see April or Casey as well, and it's for what they're trying to portray in this episode with as many characters as we get. It's probably for the better. It's probably it's probably the same reason why they cut out Pigeon Pete, was just to have some breathing room in there, just with all the characters that are in there. I will ask if he's okay after this video. So our new villain, Don Vivioso, who actually has his own gang members, and even his own minions, where they just cover the whole face of all of his men are there, so they don't have to just do multiple face models and that kind of stuff. Kind of save money right there and everything. And so it's not like he has carbon copy robots or anything like that that we've seen with the Shredder or Karai's foot. With this guy, obviously it's a big reference to the Godfather movies, back in the late 70s, early 80s. Not only we have that, we have a lot of references to a lot of things that the general audience for this show probably won't get. One of his gang members talks and looks like Sylvester Stallone, and at one point he actually gets a large mech kind of exosuit thing that looks like the exosuit from the end of the Alien movie. Not only we get that, at one point he actually gets a. At one point, we actually see him with an old 80s, early 80s, late 70s TV with the dials on the front, and they actually were able to turn it on with a remote. I honestly cannot remember if that was even possible to turn that on. I just remember I had one of those TVs when I was a little kid, and I remember we had to turn the front dial to one channel, and then if we wanted to go somewhere if we wanted to go to a channel that was above 12, we had to change that dial to I don't know, I think UFF, UHF, and then we had to turn the second dial and everything. Whatever that ancient technology was, there's no way they could have able to turn this TV on whatever remote they had that they used. And so not only we have this old style TV, another 80s reference that that kids, the target audience for this show probably is not going to get or understand or even know what it is, because they probably never seen it. I only saw this once in my life, and that's because back in the 80s you had to be a rich baller to own one of these, and that is a car phone. Yes, he has a car phone with the antenna sticking up, and that is how he was making calls and everything. Just with the big handle and the bulky thing, and he just picking it up it still works. So, I mean, What telephone service still uses that thing?
I'm coming.
So, but yeah, it was just something like kind of weird. Just kind of weird to see, and especially for the audience that this show is actually meant for. I was surprised to see all these references. Obviously they animated. Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, probably half the animation team doesn't even know what half these items were. They probably weren't even alive when these items were out. Oh my gosh! Now I think about it. So other than those things, his other big technology item he has is actually his chair. So I guess the animation team, they decided maybe because of his body proportion size, it was maybe just too hard for him to like make him walk naturally, or they just wanted to keep him with that whole Godfather like persona that that he doesn't actually need to get up and move. His chair has a rocket pack, and it just blasts up and then just moves around. And there's a lot of animation cheats in this episode. Like, I mean, a lot. So at one point when the turtles they went to his restaurant to attack his men, he is actually trying to escape, and like you see that him and his body with the chair with the rocket pack is too wide for the door, and they just could not get through. And so at one point we see the turtles, they're fighting his henchmen and everything, and then the next shot we see like the door just swinging open, like he miraculously went through this with no real explanation of how he was able to do this without getting out of the chair or turning the chair sideways. And and actually, so at one point they actually have him in the same room with Donatello and Mondo Gecko when they're captured. And this room is like really tiny. And if you look at the door in this room, the door is actually like way too small for him to actually fit through, especially with him and the chair. And he's just there. Magic. They just kind of cheat and just had him over there. Just don't try to even explain how he's able to get into this small little hotel like room. But that's not the only animation cheats we actually have. At one point, Donatello's getting attacked when he's tied up and everything. And so what he does is he actually puts his legs inside his shell. And we've seen that like in some of the other like Ninja Turtle stuff and everything. But the proportion size of these turtle models, that is actually not possible. Their legs are just way too long to fit in that shell. In fact, if you actually get the action figures for the turtles that transform, that you can transform into the baby turtles, you actually don't put their legs inside the shell. Actually, you make those legs into the back legs, because that was the only way the toy company was able to find a way around this cheat. And so not only does Donatello put his legs that have like no physical room in this small little shell, he actually at one point actually puts both arms in there too. And it's really kind of impossible, but it's actually kind of cool to see that they have that turtle trait, that they can actually put some of their limbs inside the shell like a real turtle.
I know. I have to leave this one.
So other than those things, overall this episode was actually pretty good. It was cool seeing the mutant animals again. Me personally, my selfish reasons, I'm hoping that Pigeon Pete doesn't return, but I don't know. Maybe later on we'll see an episode where we see what exactly happened with Pigeon Pete. And I gotta go and find out what's happened to Raphael over there. Make sure he didn't like break any bones or crack his shell even more.
I'm fine.
Oh, he's fine. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish up this video then. It would have been nice to actually see at least like some sort of teaser, like just another teaser with like Karai or Shredder, just kind of keep the story rolling with the season. But overall, as a standalone episode, it's actually really cool. And at the same time, even though it doesn't do that, at least it's one of those episodes that people can just watch out of order and not feel lost or anything like that. Down in the comments below, just let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know why you think Pigeon Pete's not part of the Mutanimals again. Alright, I am going to go ahead and go check on Raphael, even though he said he's fine.
How good now.
I'll see you guys later. Alright, till next time, guys.
Finally, I broke the hammer. Well, he was a strong tool, but not as strong as Terraton. If you like my fight, like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to watch more videos of me, please click here. Don't mess with me. Like and subscribe.